What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today is October the 20th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is really focusing on today. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data points, we don't really have too much today. What is really going to be moving the market is optimism associated to companies unveiling their earnings. So we do have a lot of big names this week. And then over the weekend, we did have this. So Bessent and the vice premier, I guess representative of China, they had a very productive conversation. So the market's going to be taking this as a fairly good positive because this fear has been looming over the broader market for the last week and a half, give or take. And of course, Trump isn't meeting with China up until the end of October, but this is a temporary win. So at the end of the day, we are seeing some pretty good price action during the pre-market. So Dow is up 0.2, S&P 0.35, NASDAQ up 0.42. Fear and greed index is still under the fear category, so in theory people's appetite for risk isn't necessarily on the table, but with some good companies putting out good earnings, good data, for instance Thursday and Friday, we could be seeing the neutral sometime this week. Getting right to it, SoFi is up about 2%, just piggybacking off of the optimism and plus a certain level of FOMO leading into their upcoming earnings. Nothing really coming out from them just yet. They like to put out news at 8 a.m., but as of right now, it's doing fairly well. 9.48% of the free float's being shorted. One thing to take note of with shorts is that they have increased 4 consecutive days. So it is fair to assume that they will be increasing today, but keep in mind, it's not anything crazy. They're not increasing 10 plus million shares. They're increasing like 10, 20,000. So nothing to worry about in my opinion. Right now though, with a 27.05 during the pre-market, it is above this pivot point of 26.81. That's going to be that key one to really watch for today. And if it's able to close above that, then you could see easily that 29.33 in the next little bit. One thing to take note of, that I did bring up in my dedicated SoFi video under my other YouTube channel, is that a nice technical breakout is starting to form with SoFi, so bouncing off of the 50-day moving average. So potentially you could be seeing that 29.33 sooner rather than later. Aside from that, getting right to NIO, so it is up 0.44%. It is moving higher slightly because of the technicals, plus we did get some good Chinese data, so I'll talk about this in my dedicated NIO video, which I do cover under this channel, but 12% of the free float's being shorted. Lately, shorts have been returning, but honestly, they seem to do whatever the hell they want with no rhyme or reason. If NIO does get closer to that $7 range, this is where you might see shorts wake up a little bit, because that $7 range is that key pivot. So NIO recently has struggled with this R1, and now it's been struggling a little bit with this pivot point. So I think shorts know that. They have been very strategic in the past, so I wouldn't put it past them to try to just suppress it at that range. So again, if NIO does start to get some good momentum, get close to that 7, don't be surprised if you see shorts wake up a little bit. Moving on, REPL. So this one's up 87.5% during the pre-market. Over the last 1 year though, something to take note of, that it is down 60.21%. But the reason why they are moving higher today is because of this. So biotechs aren't really my forte, so I'm not going to waste your time and go through this, but take the time to kind of read it if that's your forte or whatever else. But nonetheless, this stock should be a pretty good day trade, so add this one to your watch list. Right now, 33.21% of the free float's being shorted, works to be 16.6 million shares overall are being shorted. Shorts have been like kind of overkill a little bit, so for whatever reason they went from about 15% short interest to peaking at 45. Doesn't seem to have all that much in news or even crazy price action to justify that, so it looks like they are just like a swarm of sharks trying to, and they see blood. So I think this is why they've been doing what they've been doing. So anticipate them to be fairly reactive to the stock price today. So you might see some back and forth a little bit, but that could be fairly good for day trades, as I mentioned. With it right now at 865, it is right above all the key fib levels. Moving over to the classic though, 1136 is going to be that next strong target / resistance, then 798. Just kind of watch for those. If that does fail to hold, then 669 and then 589 as support levels. Moving on, FGI. So this one is up 36.1%. Interestingly enough, there hasn't really been any news today, nor any SEC filings to justify this push higher for it to go up 36%. So you know me, for those of you that kind of watch my pre-market, every time I see this type of price action, it always has me kind of concerned a little bit. Only because my first intuition is to pop over to dilution tracker just to see if they have a lot of convertible debt. This stock doesn't. So someone must know something, because a lot of money is getting into this stock during the pre-market, and normally that doesn't happen for no reason. It's not heavily shorted, so 2.03% of the free float's being shorted. Shorts have been reactive though in the past, so when it did spike back in September, shorts were very, very active. And so when it comes down to this spike that happened on September the 16th, that also was largely because of nothing like significant for news. I believe a 8K was put out at that time, but as far as to justify that magnitude of a push higher, I don't think so. So this one will be a very, very good day trade, because it could go very high. So, and plus it's not heavily shorted, so something to take note of. Right now with that 637, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So I'm moving over to the 1-day chart, very strong wide gaps, but I don't think that this 394 is even on the table, but for a good realistic target, 739 and then 1085. So just add those ones to your watch list, and then just set a tight stop loss if you are going to day trade this one. And then last but not least, ticker is NUAI. It is up 14.29%. And the only thing that has really come out lately was a 8K that was on Friday, just showing that they kind of entered into a new EPFA. So a lot of dilution. Market didn't seem to care because it went up 44% on Friday. So I think this morning the price action is largely just because of the broader market, at the same time piggybacking from the pre-existing momentum, because over the last 5 days it is up 84.52%. So something to take note of. Again, another very good day trade. It's not that heavily shorted. You can see shorts have been very reactive in the past, but 6.84% of the free float's being shorted. Works out to be 1.3 million shares overall being shorted. If you're wanting to trade it, right now with that 513, it is between this pivot and this S1. Similar to the last stock, you kind of have to just take these for good targets. So 623, 1008, and then 1246. So realistically, we've seen a lot of good price action with it. So it is fair to assume we could see that 623 if there's a good continuation of momentum. And then from there, you never know, 1008 potentially. But in my opinion, and I think for today, 623 will be that key point. So let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. What stocks are you planning on trading, buying, or what are you doing? One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.